All right, welcome in, ACHA hockey fans. It's another winners conversation. I keep having those. The WCHL champions, the Bronchos from UC, from Central Oklahoma University. How about that, Michael? We haven't talked long enough. I got Michael Rivera with me. First of all, congratulations on a great win today. It was a battle against Arizona, but you guys kind of held things from start to finish. Is that accurate?
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that. And yeah, no, it was our guys brought it today. They executed the game plan really well, and that's a really well coached team out in Arizona, a really skilled team, and I was really happy with the way we played today.
Michael, your team is seasoned, right? It's ready for this time of year. My co-host Stephen Marsh told me after, I don't know, a few minutes into the game, he goes, "It looks like UCO is ready to play playoff hockey." Fair enough?
That's fair. We talk about it all year. We try to prepare the team to play well in the tournament. We try to play a playoff style hockey throughout the year, try to build them up to perform at this time of year, and I'd like to think that we're ready to go right now.
Before we get into the tournament run that you're in right now, give me and our listeners kind of a thumbnail about the season, because it was kind of up and down. You guys played a lot of different teams, a lot of different places, and right now it looks like you're starting to peak, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah, we had this year was an interesting year. There was a lot of peaks, a lot of valleys. Without a doubt, we were road warriors. Very similar to yourself, all over the country this year. We were up in North Dakota, as far out west as Utah. Now all the way out east in Boston. So it's been a long year on the road. Consistency has definitely been an issue of ours throughout the season. It could be the tale of two different teams on a given weekend, where on Friday night we don't look like the same hockey team that we do on Saturday, and that's been something that we've been trying to work on. It's been, and that's a struggle, right? We talked about it last night as a group, where there's a lot of situations throughout this season where we don't show up on a Friday night. We look like a not very good hockey team, to say the least, and it would have been really easy for us to just fold on a Saturday night and pack it in and just essentially, give up. And this group's always found a way to fight back and show up the next night and dig back in. And that's how we were able to stay within the top 10 and battle back in the rankings and win that WCHL championship this year.
I know when I talk to every coach, Mike, people, or all of them almost to a man, will tell me that you set your goals, obviously, to win a national championship, but along the way you want to collect trophies, and you guys did it, as you mentioned, in a very tough WCHL again this year. So how much does that mean to your program, and how much confidence do your guys get by being WCHL champions?
Yeah, that's a great point. Without a doubt, the goal is always a national championship. And sometimes, as a group, we talk about, since you're trying to collect trophies along the way and you want to win the conference, sometimes it's more about, not letting anybody else have it. And that's the important thing. And it meant a lot to our group. At the end of the day, you can only control, what you can control and the teams that you play. And we had 20 WCHL games and we took care of 19 of them. And that's not something that's easy to do. It's a tough conference. One of the big things that a lot of people overlook is, we're playing an in-conference game and we're taking a flight all the way out to Utah. And that's more than a lot of teams will travel in a given year, some of these East Coast teams. And so to have to, get off a flight, hop in some vans, get to the hotel, show up the next night, get on Olympic ice against a team that we haven't seen before, and have to play a hockey game, that's a tough environment to be in, and it's not an easy conference. And so there's no easy nights in WCHL, and I think it makes us better because of that. It's a great conference, and so to get that done and get it done on home ice against our rival meant a lot to this group, and it gives them confidence in the sense that they're capable of accomplishing a championship, and that was the first one, and hopefully we can take care of the second.
So last year you were in this deep run, to say the least, in the ACHA National Championship. You saw plenty of overtimes. I'm guessing if you have your druthers, you'd like to just avoid overtime all the way and just win everything the way you were winning them today.
Yeah, it's a little bit nicer. It's a little less stressful. I guess in an ideal world, every game goes that way. But we're ready. We're up to any task. Whatever the situation brings, we prepare our guys. Adversity It's just something happens, something doesn't go our way. All right, good. What's up next? We're ready to go.
Okay, in the ACHA tournament, we've talked about this a lot on our podcast and with different coaches, and we know what it's like that all you guys gather to win a national championship. But be honest with me, when you got that pairings out and you said, "Wow, round one is against Arizona, another conference member," what were in your thoughts?
Yeah, you don't like that. Even though we haven't seen Arizona all year, they're on the other side of the conference. We used to see them every year, and we had quite a good rivalry going on for a couple years there. But you look across and it's a familiar team. It's I like to think of Chad Berman as a good friend. He's a great guy, a great hockey coach, and him knowing our group well and knowing me and knowing the way we like to play. It's sometimes there's a little bit of power and mystery when the other team doesn't know you and you don't know them, and so when you see that familiar foe across the aisle for your first round matchup, it kind of it shakes you up a little bit. You know that you're up against it, and I knew they would be well prepared and there would be no surprises. And so it's not an ideal matchup, but at the end of the day, you got to win four hockey games against four good teams, and unfortunately, it just happened to be a WCHL team to start this year.
Okay, you led me right into it. The quarterfinals start tomorrow, and all 8 teams are capable of winning this thing. So, what's your approach as you get ready tomorrow?
So you get back to the hotel, you try to get the guys as well fed as possible, get them rested, get them in the ice bath, and then you start breaking down film and get them prepared on tendencies, make the adjustments where needed, and at the end of the day, it's about what we do, and we believe that if we execute our game plan, that we'll be the outcome will take care of itself.
Speaking of what you do, your offense is unbelievable. I think really, though, when I look at your roster, Michael, you have a team that's very well balanced and very deep. You can win close games. You can win high-scoring games. That's kind of what you want this time of year, right? A team that can do just about anything?
Absolutely. Whatever the game brings, we got to be ready to go. In an ideal world, our defensive coverage, we're limiting the goals against. And, we were able to win a hockey game 1-0, 2-1. But at the end of the day, if we get in a hockey game where it's, a 5-4 hockey game, we got to be able to put the puck in the net and match that offense with the other team. Typically we like to shut down the offense and not be in those kinds of situations. But obviously we got to be up for any task.
Okay, so you have so many players. I hate to single one out, but there's a last name of Simpson, and it's all over the WCHL. It's all over the ACHA. Everybody knows the last name Simpson from UCO. Tell us about him.
Austin Simpson, he's a great kid. He's a stoic kid. He doesn't smile too much. He has a very serious approach to everything. But he's a gamer. He's got a very, very high hockey IQ. He's got a great set of hands. He can do it on both ends of the ice. He's got incredible stick work. Plays really strong defensively. He's an incredible penalty killer. And he's probably one of the best passers in the ACHA. He can put on the tape to anybody. They just better be ready because they're going to have a great opportunity to put it in the back of the net.
So when he puts it on the tape, it typically can go to a Russian forward who I've been told and I've seen has a shot and a snipe ability very similar to one Alexander Ovechkin. Does that name come up occasionally when you're talking about your big Russian?
It's come up in the past. I think they call it. He sits on his porch over there on the right hand side of the power play, getting ready for that one timer, and he's got quite the shot to say the least. He was actually fighting it there for a little bit. He wasn't able to connect one for a while, but he's the kind of kid who'll sit there after practice and grab a bucket of pucks and have a guy pass him 50 pucks till he gets it right. And today he was able to connect a one timer that went right over the glove hand side on Bivlicek earlier today, and I think that got him going a little bit, got the team going to see him put one of those in the back of the net. He's a big piece for us.
Okay, final one for you. When you get to the national tournament, it's about winning the national tournament, but I like to ask the coaches also what it's like to just have the camaraderie of everybody. In about a month or so, you're going to be heading over to Romania. You're going to be with a couple of your coaching guys there, maybe one that you're going up against. And what's it like? And how much do you enjoy just the chance to get together in one spot and just be hockey for 4 or 5 days?
It's the best. There's nothing better. You walk into the rink. There's all these games going on, and you get to see some friends from the coaching fraternity, and you feel the pressure. But it's a great pressure. You kind of embrace it. There's a certain buzz to the arena when you're walking around with all these games going on and all these high end teams and high end coaches in the building, and it's a great experience, and it's something that the guys we push them to take it all in and really enjoy it, because not everybody gets to be here. It's honestly a privilege, and we are lucky to be here and lucky to get this experience, and it's great. And you want to be here you at least want to be playing for as long as possible. It's really March is my favorite month of the year for this specific reason.
Got your passport ready? Because Romania is a long ways, and they're going to check it.
Yeah, that's right. We got the passport ready, got the flights booked, got all the travel itinerary together. It's never been to Romania, and never in my life thought I would, but it'll be a fun experience, and get to do it with a couple of guys from our roster, some guys that I know from around the league, guy that we'll be playing against tomorrow, who's become a good friend this year. He's a great guy, great hockey coach, and looking forward to learning from him and working with him, as well as Frank over at Indiana Tech, who's up right now, 6'2", on Maryville. He's another great coach, great hockey mind, and I look forward to learning from him as well.
Mike Rivera, I always enjoy the conversation and the time. Best of luck tomorrow, and let's hope we're talking again tomorrow night, okay?
I sure hope so, Scott. I really do appreciate it.
All right, folks, that's the head coach from the UCO Broncos. I think it's Roll Chose, am I right?
That's it.
All right. Mike Rivera joining us tonight. Have a good night.